Hey, we're back. This time we're taking a look at Krosmaster Arena 2.0. I did a video a little bit ago about the original Krosmaster Arena. This is the new version that replaced that. Has an updated rulebook, a bunch of new characters, some new scenery and stuff. Comes with just as much cool stuff as the original. Unfortunately, the back of the box was actually a flyer sheet that came off and got tossed out, so it actually doesn't have the picture with the contents and everything on there, but set in the same universe as the old game, new map, new terrain, and we'll get right in and take a look. The same as with the original, first thing we have on top here is our book. This book I have read through. It's set up exactly like the book from the original. Has a couple pages going over the contents, and then has the little tutorial fights that explain how to play the game. If you play through these, you get a pretty easy idea on how to play the full game. Each one they add a little bit more to, and some new abilities and things till you get up to a final full game. It is a really neat little way to learn the basics, and does a pretty good job of explaining it all, but at the same time makes the rule book a very weird layout in the fact that rules aren't broken up into sections. They're taught throughout the scenario. They're taught throughout the scenarios. So there's one here, one there. When you get to the back, they do have some reference charts and things that explain the basics and starting up a game, and so on. The basics of using your spells and abilities. Summon tokens. There's the new demonic reward store, which has been updated to include some more useful stuff than was in the original game. They took some things out, added some new stuff. And there's a section for advanced rules and even an FAQ. And then your cheat sheet on the back. Next we have the game board. We have two brand new maps. Bonita 1, I think this is, and Bonita 2 on the back. I like the look of these maps. It makes it a little harder to find the demon cells there where the stores are, but at the same time it's just cool to have new maps. They use similar iconography to the original game. You have these ones here where you're supposed to put a coin. There's some with 2 coins. These are your crates. These ones are actual bags that you put on there. The demon stores, again, don't show up as well as they did on the other one, but they're still there. And of course you have the footprints along the edges for the starting areas. And the other thing that's new are these that have the little signposts. They actually go the shopping cart things there. Business carts, whatever you want to call them. And I like the fact that there's new terrain, but those are kind of bulky and awkward. They're kind of weird, but other than that, though, everything's cool. Back to our box here. We have a pack of character cards. 8 new Krosmaster heroes come in this set. And they're fully compatible with the original set as well. Up in this top corner here, you have your level. You get 12 that you can use to build a team. This one actually has a couple that are different. We have a couple of these 2-pointers in here, as well as a couple 4-point characters to mix and match for your teams. As with the cards in the original, everything else is pretty much the same. We have our initiative number up here. The higher your initiative, the faster your character is going to be. The higher your team score, decides who gets to go first. Then we have our movement score, our hit points, and our ability points. You have your abilities listed here with the ability cost and the type of damage and how much damage they do over here. Some special rules, if there's any, on the line below that. A fluff section talks about your character. And then your special ability down here in the bottom. In this guy's case, he has dodge. And there's some powerful people in there, especially with these level 4 guys. And just cool, more options to build teams around. So of course we have our figures in here. The cool pre-painted miniatures. And there's some interesting ones in this set. couple of them have bent weapons and things. It's not that big of a deal, but being pre-painted is the huge thing. This guy's pretty cool. Love the peace symbol. I'm sure it means something else in other parts of the world, but she's very annoying, vampire lady, both in the board game and the video game. See, another one with a bent sword. Tried to fix them with a hairdryer like I do some other soft plastic models, and it didn't work, so I think I'm just going to have to live with them being bent. This guy's interesting. He can push people around and inspire them. He gives them extra action points, I believe. It's either action or movement, I can't remember. Awesome paint jobs though on the figures. Normally when you get stuff pre-painted, they're really crappy done or very low end, and the way they do these, they come out pretty good. Haven't had any complaints to them. After that, we got a whole mess of tokens. We have hit point markers. There's a lot more of them than there were in the original. These ones I kind of got all mixed together in here, but we have our plus minus to ability markers. There's plus minus to movement markers, and new in this set are the plus minus to range, which are cool. We have our bag of comma coins. These are going to go on the various spots on the board and be used to buy items from the demonic rewards. And we have our custom dice. The original game only came with 8. This game comes with 10. If you aren't familiar with the game, the way it works is all of your attacks do a specific set amount of damage, which are on the cards here. They do the amount that's there, so this in case would do 1 earth damage, and then you roll a die on top of that. The die you get to roll, if you get a critical here, will add 1 damage to your roll. If you get a dodge, it lets you break away from enemies easier without getting trapped. You have the shield, which allows you to block 1 point of damage. You have the magnet, which lets you lock people to you when they try to move away from you. Then we have the tofu egg, which is a wild. You can make it any one of those. And then there's the dual one here with the critical and the dodge. You can just pick which one of those is the one that you're looking for. At the same time, when you roll defense, everybody gets 1 die in defense to try to block incoming damage. 2 dice if you have the armor ability. Same with attacking, you get 1 die that you can add to your attack. 2 if you have the critical ability. Next we have our summon tokens, where the original game came with a ton of them. This one only comes with the ones you need for the set that we have here. So you get a couple bombs, which you can buy from the store. And then a couple flea tokens for one of the characters. Next we have our Gallons of Glory tokens. These GG tokens are pretty much what the game is based around. Everybody starts with 6 of these, and then throughout the course of the game you're going to gain more or lose more depending on what happens. If you run out of these, the game is over and you've lost. There's always 1 free one up for grabs. The first time anybody earns one, they get that. After that, any that are earned come from your opponent's pool. There's a couple different ways to get them. You can buy them for 12 comma coins from the demonic rewards, or whenever you kill an opposing player. Their Krosmaster hero has this level marker up here. It tells you how many of these you're going to get. The level ranges on the characters range from level 1 all the way up to level 6. So you can take all 6 of somebody's in a single kill if you can kill a high level character. At the same time, those high level characters are going to be harder to kill than the smaller guys. Get into the terrain bits. It does come with quite a bit more terrain than the original game. You have these little bags which have replaced the bushes from the original. I don't like them as much as the bushes, which is part of the reason I bought the original as well. But I believe you get 8 of those. Replacing the trees in this set, we have these little shopping carts, merchant carts, whatever you want to call them. And they are annoying to get put together. I glued mine because I'd never wanted to have to do it again. And there's plenty of room in the box to store them all assembled. But you get 6 of these in place of the 8 trees that were in the original game. Each one of them has a different theme too. Like this one's candy. My personal favorite one is the donut shop. And even the roof is covered with sprinkles from the donuts. Then you also get some crates. While these crates were way easier to assemble than the ones that came in the original set, I don't think they're nearly as durable. I don't like the design, especially where the corners overlap. It makes them easier to put together and take apart, but at the same time, it doesn't make them look nearly as nice. The tab feel to the original ones was so much better on the edges. They were more like the top is here, where everything fits together nice and smooth. These have these weird edges that stick out on the ends. They don't look nearly as nice, I don't think. But you get 4 different ones of those. And then finally we go on to our demonic rewards. And you have a whole new pile of demonic reward tokens. These are mostly all new stuff from the original. They did change them though. They're not bronze, silver, and gold anymore. Now they're granite, jade, and silver. The granite ones cost 3. So your main 3 types are still the same on them. You have your boosts, which are like one-time use potions here. In this case, you'd gain a 1 damage to any element and 1 hit point, and then it's gone. You have your buff style ones that gain you a temporary bonus. You have your equipment style one. In this case, is a pet. Gives you a bonus. These stay in play for the rest of the game. And then you have new ones in these technique style ones, which are equipment cards, kind of like the other ones. They remain in play for the game, but these actually give you a bonus to your normal punch ability. The standard punch ability that all characters have normally costs 5. These reduce the cost by 1, as well as giving you the ability on the bottom. In this case, you steal a comma coin from the target. So you go from the granite ones up to the jade ones. The jade ones are slightly more powerful stuff at a cost of 6 instead of 3. And then from the jade you move up to the silver, and the silver ones have a cost of 9 and are some of the most powerful ones in this version of the game. I'm not sure if it's the official way to do it or not, but I know some people above the jade or above the silver there will actually go and continue to use the gold ones from the original. There are some that get left out, but it's nice to have that 12 on top of there as a option. And there you have a look at everything that comes in the box set for Krosmaster Arena 2.0. It's a really cool, fun arena game. If you're into PvP, you'll love it. If you like the original Krosmasters, obviously you're going to like it. The merchant booth scenery thing, I kind of could live without. I kind of prefer the trees from the original. But it's something different. If you have both games, you're welcome to use both and mix and match. 2 new boards is cool. 8 new characters is cool. The new reward system is hit or miss. There's definitely some stuff in there that is better than there was in the previous game. However, I like having the options of the old ones as well. Overall, though, if you like the player versus player aspect of the game, you're definitely going to love this. The updated rulebook is a huge addition, and the variety of characters is nice. The fact that they gave you some 4s and 2s in there as well instead of all being 3s like the original. As always, you can buy the additional character packs either in the 4 packs or the blind boosters to mix and match and add to your collection and allow you to build more interesting teams. Right out of the box, though, this one's completely playable the way it is. I love their rulebook, and it's the same as the original, as I pointed out. The tutorial to let you play through the little mini games on your way up to a full game is a really cool addition. I wish more games would do that. I love the way it works out in this. On the same note, it does make the book really hard to look up a specific rule if there's something you're looking for, because they're spread throughout a 5 or 6 game long scenario of training missions. There is the option to play this game online. It's available through Steam and I think through their website too. It used to be a browser thing, but now it's all done through those. That game's pretty cool. It has some issues where it crashes randomly, but it allows you to play all of these characters in that game. There's even a code in the book to allow you to unlock all of these characters in-game. And any of the additional characters that you pick up individually also come with codes to unlock them as well, which is really cool. I love the fact that it's backward compatible with all the previous ones. I know they had some issues where some of the characters were a little overpowered or underpowered, and they were doing some balancing things. I'm not sure what ended up with that. I know there are a few characters that are banned in organized play because they're overpowered, but the ones that you do get here in the set are pretty balanced and even amongst themselves, as well as with the other starter sets. Overall, though, it's another one of those games. If you like the genre, if you like the style, if you like the chibi miniatures, I love the pre-painted, then you're definitely going to like it. It's well worth checking out. The game didn't catch on too well in our area, but I know there are some areas around where it's very popular. I have met a few other players around here, so that's always a good thing. It is a French game, so I'm thinking over there it's much bigger than it is over here. Especially there were some distribution errors and problems switching hands and companies, so now that they finally get that stuff ironed out, it's going to be readily available again, which is a good thing. There's the Krosmaster Quest, which is a completely different type of game. This one's exactly the same as the original Arena with some updates to it. That's more of a RPG style game, but all the figures in that are compatible as well, and all of these figures can be used in that game, which is awesome. I love cross compatibility. And I'll be doing a video on that one soon. If you haven't already, you can check out my video for the original Krosmaster Arena, and stay tuned for the Quest one when that comes. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for Krosmaster Arena 2.0. Thanks for checking out the video, and we'll see you in the next one.